The purpose of this video is to give you some general information about the AP College Board test that is given in May. So for those of you who decide to take this test, because it is not mandatory, it is necessary if you truly want to earn college credit. This is not a dual enrollment course, so the only way to earn college credit is by taking the AP exam and successfully passing it with a score of 3 or higher. So as you can see, the AP test for European history is based on 4 historical time periods, beginning with 1450, which of course is during the Renaissance, and going all the way to the year 2001. It's broken down into 4 different periods to help organize the material for you. And of course, whenever I provide you with study materials, it will be organized in these particular time periods. The test is divided into 4 parts. You have 55 multiple choice questions. You have 3 short answer questions, which we'll be practicing a whole lot on tests. DBQ, you've got 1 of those, and then you'll have 1 long essay question. You have 1 of those, and you are given 3 different options, and you have to choose 1. You're not given an option on the DBQ, but you are given an option of which question to choose from on the LAQ. So they give you 3, and you choose 1. And of course, you choose the one that you best know. It is a 3-hour and 15-minute test. It is taken at the school unless for somehow we hear that they're doing it online again. Remember last year, they had to adjust it. They had to reduce it. If you all took American History AP and you took the test, it was just the DBQ. And that's what they did for my AP Euro last year. It was 1 DBQ, and that's what your score was based on, which didn't seem very fair considering all the content that you learned boiled down to just 1 essay. But, you know, that's the way it was. And many students were successful on that exam. So if it is the traditional AP test, it is a 3-hour and 15-minute test. In the past, it's on the same day as English 4. Again, the schedule changes every year. I just know the past 2 years, it's been on the afternoon of the English test. So those of you that are taking AP English, if it is on the same day, again, you'll have the English in the morning, and then you'll have Euro in the afternoon. Now, there's a couple of things about paying for this test. Number 1, if you happen to be taking AP for the first time ever, like you've never taken an AP course at Captain Treve and this is your first one ever, you could probably get some kind of a discount. We'll have to check with the counselor on that. You also could qualify for what they call the academic scholarship, in which the school pays for some of the cost. I will go over the procedures for that a little bit later in the school year. It will require you to write an essay explaining why you believe the school should invest in you to take this exam, because your scores do affect our school long term. And so you have to write basically a persuasive essay convincing the panel of judges who will be reading your essays and determining who will receive these scholarships in the form of a voucher. So part of your test could definitely get paid for. I don't have the cost at this time because every year they bump it up by a little bit. So again, more information about that later down the road. But this is not for every single student. It's for the highly disciplined, self-motivated student who feels very confident and comfortable with the content. You can answer, and I tell students this every year, you can successfully answer questions on this AP test if you have the proper knowledge and background content, okay? Without that, you are going to stumble and get frustrated, and it becomes a guessing game for you. For multiple choice, it can be a guessing game, but not for the rest of the exam, which is complete writing. So again, you have to rely on a strong background knowledge base in order to get through this type of an exam. It is timed. So you can't just take, forever to do this. And a lot of students struggle with the time constraints. That's what happened last year with the DBQ. Some of them didn't write a very good essay because they didn't gather their thoughts properly and they just weren't prepared for that properly. But you have the entire year to gain all of the knowledge from these 4 time periods with, of course, my help. And they're probably going to make you make a decision by November whether you want to take this or not. So again, a really good gauge would be how you perform on my tests, because they are in the style of College Board, maybe not the multiple choice. I'll show y'all some examples of the multiple choice, but the writing, I try to mimic on my tests what the writing will look like so that you can get comfortable with it and have lots of practice before that May College Board exam. You know I'm here to help you. You know I will give you an honest opinion if you want my opinion on whether I think you should take the test or not. Because this is an investment. I mean, you don't want to just throw away money if you don't feel like you're going to pass it. They don't give you a lot of room to change your mind and get your money back. So this is a commitment. You have to make a decision by the deadline of whether you want to take this or not. So gives you something to think about. Of course, if you have questions, please let me know. Especially if you're a virtual student, you're not in person to ask me, but please email me any questions. Again, if you need to Zoom with me, let me know, and I'll be happy one-to-one to answer, a number of questions that you might have, or your parents might even have about this exam. My success rate in the past has been very good. I've had, half of my students every year who have taken it, at least half have passed it with a 3 or better. I've got students who have scored in the 5s as well as the 4s. So it really depends on the student and how well prepared that student is. Everybody prepares in different ways. There's a specific preparation book that I'm going to recommend. I will, again, be giving you more information about that later down the road. I'll have to post that information, for my virtual students. And, of course, let you know where you can go and purchase this book, because the only students that I can allow to borrow the book, because I don't have enough copies for everyone, are for those that qualify for the academic scholarship. If I have any left over after those who qualify for the scholarship, and y'all, I don't know how many they're going to give out. In the past, they've only given out 1 per course. So I don't know if they're going to change that this year. So again, any information I get from the counselors, I'm going to pass it on to you. Now, there is something very important that I'm going to go over, or no, I would have already gone over this with you. Hold on, let me think for a second. This is what I wanted to show you that's going to be important when it comes to signing up to take the AP exam. And we're going to do this at some point. So for you virtual students, you're going to need to do this as soon as possible. You'll click on the Join AP Classroom. You can see here that these are the join codes depending on which class period you're in. So make sure your schedule says whether you're in first or second hour. So make sure you put in the join code for your particular class period. You can see here, this gives you all of the directions. You have to go to this website and then follow these instructions on how to join the actual course itself. You can also click on this link and it also will provide you, it's going to download it. You see here, well, you can't see it, but it appeared in the corner of my computer. And I'm going to pull up like this and just see, yep, there it is. So it's the same thing. Actually, it's a little bit This is actually better. This gives you all the instructions. I'm not sure why it wasn't on the other. Let me double check. Hold on just a second. So if you don't want to click on this link and download, what you can do is you can click this arrow to page 2, and there it is. So see, there's the rest of the directions. It's just divided into pages. Or you can click this link and download the whole thing, and you'll see, you know, the whole thing. I just didn't want to have to take you off of this page if I didn't need to. I'll also, I guess what I'll try to do is put this, well, actually, look, if you click on this link, I'm going to click on it and see if it'll pull up. I bet it does. Give it a second. Yep, there it is. So you sign into your AP College Board account like you normally do. All of you should have a College Board account unless this is the first time you've ever taken an AP test. If you've taken a CLEP test for another class, you should have a College Board account. So if you have forgotten this information, my recommendation is get in touch with Ms. Barclay in the library. She's always been like the troubleshooting person when it comes to, you know, College Board accounts. She can help you get it all figured out if you truly did not write this information down. But once you get into your account, then you go back and you follow these directions, you know, that I've posted on here. Okay, so that's page 1 and then page 2. So again, let me know if you have a question. I may refer you to Miss Barclay or even Miss Dye. Miss Dye, our counselor, is in charge of all AP testing. So one of those two individuals, Miss Barclay or Miss Dye, will be able to help answer anything that I cannot, especially when it comes to technology. Most of you know I am not the best with it, so I will get you to the place that will help you. Okay, so this concludes the video on taking the AP exam and what you need to do to sign up. By the way, you need to join this AP classroom whether you're going to take the test or not, because there's a place on there that you check the box, yes or no, and everybody has to be at least in this AP classroom and checking the box yes or no so that they know how many exams to order. All right. That's it for this one.